All right, in question number 1, we're going to be taking a look at how to evaluate functions and apply the order of operations in the process, okay? Question 1 reads, if f of x equals 2 times 3 to the x plus 1, what is the value of f of 2? So let's go ahead and recall what f of a particular value is, all right? So let's recall that real quick. So something that you have to remember, so recall, if you're asked to find f of a and you're given a particular function, f of x, that basically means something pretty straightforward. It means that you're to substitute a for all the x's. That's simply what it means, okay? So whatever that a value is, you replace it with all the x's in your function. In this particular problem, upon substitution of our a value, namely 2, into the function f of x, we're going to have to use the order of operations, okay? So let's also go ahead and review the acronym for the order of operations, all right? And that is, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally, Pemdas. So P means that that's the first operation you do. Basically, the parentheses, you carry out the operations inside the parentheses. That's what P in Pemdas means. E means next you do the exponent, evaluate the exponents. All right, after you're done with P and E, the next two are grouped in pairs, okay? So we have M and D are grouped in pairs from left to right. Basically means that you multiply and divide. They're in the same level. You multiply and divide, but you do it from left to right. Okay, so whichever one shows up from left to right, that's the one you do first. So let's say you have a multiplication first to the left of a division, then you do the multiplication first. And the division is on the left side to the multiplication, then you do the division next, okay? But you do these two at the same time. The last two operations to execute when simplifying expressions using the order of operations are the addition and subtraction operations. Okay, so these are similar to M and D. You add and subtract from left to right. Okay, the same time. So let's go ahead and attack this problem here. We have the original function. Always state the function first before you carry out your substitution to avoid making mistakes. So the function f of x is this exponential function here, 2 times 3 to the x plus 1. It has been stretched and shifted. We are looking for f of 2. Now, based on what we talked about earlier, if you're given f of x and you're asked to find f of 2, what does that mean? Okay, remember we talked about that earlier. If you're asked to find f of a given f of x, you're just going to take the a and substitute it for the x. Bam. Just like that. Okay, so our a in this particular case is 2. So we're just going to substitute all the x's with 2. So f of 2 is going to be 2 times 3. So instead of it being 3 raised to the x power, it will be 3 raised to the second power. Okay, that's a substitution. Or you can also call it evaluation using function notation. Okay. To finish this off, we're going to use the order of operations to simplify this expression to the right of the function. So now, what are we going to do first? We have multiplication, we have a parenthesis, we have addition. Remember order of operations, we're going to do the parenthesis, the operation in the parenthesis first, which is an exponentiation. So 3 squared is 3 times itself twice, right? So that's 9 plus 1. The order of operation that we just carried out is the parenthesis. we simplify what was in the parentheses. Okay, now we're now reduced to multiplying and addition. Multiplying here implied by this parenthesis, and then addition. So what do we do next? Following the order of operations, we're done with P. There's no E. So we multiply and divide, but we don't have any division, so we're just going to multiply, okay? So let's do the multiplication operation next. 2 times 9 is 18 plus 1. Okay, so that was the multiplication operation. And then lastly, we're just going to add. 18 plus 1 is 19. Ladies and gentlemen, that is our final answer for question number 1. Option 2 is the answer to this question.